veteran, first responder, or a patriot looking for a place to put your skill set, your thoughts, and or want to help continue the mission? You have come to the right place. We are the People's Patriot Project, and we want to put the shock and awe when it comes to meeting the needs of our veterans and first responders. We are dealing with a new enemy in today's world where the wounds are not always seen. We want you to be part of this mission in saving lives and making a difference. Welcome to Playtime. We got your 6 at 6. Now here's your host, Shad Turner of Veterans Unite Podcast and the People's Patriot Project. And as always, Patriot Pride.
And welcome to this July 18th episode of We Got Your 6 at 6 Patriot Playtime. This is Mark Peterson with the People's Patriot Project. And the crew's all here, and we've got an amazing guest, Karalyn Martin, here with us tonight. But before we get started, we know the role, we do our thing, and we make sure we give tribute to the most amazing piece of fabric on the face of the earth that represents one of the greatest countries in the world. Please, if you are capable, stand, remove your caps, and we will recite the Pledge of Allegiance to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Well, hi there, Andrea.
Hello, Peterson. How are you doing?
What is going down? We've got Travis is in the house.
Yeah.
We got Derek is in the house, and we've got a whole slew of people in the foxhole tonight. Karalyn Martin is with us, and we'll bring her here on in a little bit, but she has brought the house, man. We don't normally have a foxhole as big as we do. But tonight they're all here. Shad says he's going to show up here eventually, and he'll be part of what we got going on here in a minute. But how was this last week, Andrea?
Oh my gosh, what a busy week. What do you think?
We act like nonchalantly we don't even know what we're going to be talking about here in a second, but it's like, holy cow, does the train stop abruptly? No, it doesn't. It just rolls. What an amazing trip down to Texas and saw the who's who. I just found out. Maybe we just missed Karalyn down there from Fort Worth. And we were in her backyard watching Adam Berry. Oops. Yeah, a little dyslexia in my brain. Saw him down there in concert and will soon. Can you hear the radio in the background still? All right. I should mute that. Guess what I'm listening to?
I bet you're listening to WP3 Radio.
I am listening to WP3 Radio. It is live up in Golden. We will get those links on here as well. And we'll probably end our day depending on who's on there. Tom Cruise is on right now. So amazing. Are we keeping you up or anything?
I never. No. No.
So I am slowly going to be bringing. Tell us what's going on. I'll start bringing people in out of the foxhole.
Well, so like Peterson said, we just got back from our trip down to Texas, and we have to laugh a little bit when Mark says we were in your backyard. That's because we're from Minnesota and he's from Wyoming before that, and everything is just down the road and in your backyard and behind the house, and that means it's like a good half hour away or more. That's what we found out anyway. His aunt's favorite story to tell is about another aunt who loved to go to this Mexican restaurant just out behind the house, and they drove for days to get to that behind the house restaurant. They're good storytellers. So we were we were in Fort Worth, and we just found out, Karalyn, that you're from or in the Fort Worth area, I believe. We were at something at Oscar's Pub listening to Adam Berry. And so Mark's like, did we miss her? And I said, well, we just really had made contact. I don't even know. That was such a rush of time. I had no idea. We were in your neighborhood. But yeah, so we got home. We got home from Texas and things didn't stop rolling. So we spent Monday visiting Nick Valentine over in Killeen. We came home Monday night. I think we probably both kind of crashed. And then Tuesday just started rolling again. And so contact with new people, contact with new musicians. I think you just sent me a list of musicians to look at. Shoot, I don't even know. Oh my gosh. I did not sell 500 cards, but Peterson went on a hike.
You act like that's a crazy thing.
Well, you told me I had to sell 500 cards, and that is a crazy thing. And so we went and checked out. We're setting up for our ruck on October 23rd, and we just had to go check out the area for details. And shoot, you guys, we got on the huck on the trail, and I had my tennis shoes on. He had his silly little Crocs on, and he's like, "So are we walking the trail?" And I'm like, "Well, you're the one with Crocs on." And so we did. We walked the trail, and it was great. So that's coming up. We did a lot of planning on that, and then just putting together more show stuff, more music, and more good stuff. So am I missing anything, Peterson?
Well, we just can't share with the entire world everything that we got to do. And we're getting ready to turn around and do it all over again, heading down to Illinois and to Kansas City to go visit with Project Die Hard and Brian Gibson, and then heading to the VFW National Convention, which is business only, just so everyone knows. The National Convention for the VFW this year is business only. So please remember that. That's kind of a slap on my hand, but I'm joking around about it. Karalyn.
Hi.
Thank you for joining us.
Yes. Thank you for having me.
Have you been to Oscar's Pub?
No. I mean, I live in Fort Worth, but pubs are, well, I guess like drinking, honestly, yes, I'm a Marine, but shamefully, I am not a big drinker, so pubs are just...
That's not shamefully. That's taking care of the temple. I should have done a better job of that myself. But,
I say that, but then I was at the convention today for all liquor distribution, bars, restaurants today as I guess an ambassador for a veteran-owned and operated company that picked me up to sponsor me in all the nonprofits I serve.
Oh, tell us about it.
So Sin Vodka was just taken over by a Navy veteran and a Marine veteran in February. It was originally well-established or semi-established. The owner had to let it go or would lose his wife type situation. It was super weird, but they are in 8 different states. It's distilled out of Charleston, South Carolina. They are pretty much taking over the southern states. What's neat about this is that like people are like, I don't want a vodka because it's got like that rubbing alcohol or that medicinal aftertaste. But this is distilled so many times and it's strictly patented by Sin Vodka that it's so smooth you wouldn't even know that it's vodka. So today I was, as a Marine veteran, got to wear this like super neat American flag like dress with Sin Vodka on my chest and pass out samples and talk about it. It is a multi-grain corn base, but it is gluten-free, so no wheat. I will be shooting an ad with them on Tuesday, and then we will be working on a commercial as well, because they did buy a full page, which was $5,000 ad and pin up for Vets Calendar. So,
that's awesome. Now, did you say this is veteran owned as well?
Yes, it is veteran owned and operated by a Navy veteran and a Marine Corps veteran. And the Marine Corps veteran just happens to be like his MOS was flight equipment and my husband was flight equipment. So it's really neat.
Wow. That is awesome.
Really good people.
It's amazing what we have found, how small our country and our world really is when you start mixing with all the people that have served. Now, it's only 6% of our entire country, which you would think is a gigantic chunk of people, but for the people that are getting involved and the people that are trying to be boots on the ground, it seems relatively small. And we rub elbows with people on a daily basis that are involved, want to be involved, and want to make the world a better place. And so service continues, we say, and so we greatly appreciate that. So we didn't get to see you in Fort Worth. We didn't even know you existed at that. Well, I knew you existed. That's a terrible thing to say.
Yeah.
Tell us your big mission. What are you working on right now, and how are you helping the world of veterans?
So what I'm working on right now, I just got back from for Vets. That is a 501c3 as well that provide, they send out calendars globally and mainly in a lot of the VA hospitals, and we'll go visit them, dress up as pinups. They help with like medical equipment, other things that veterans may need. So that's, and it's all raised by selling the calendars. So 12 women are selected, and one for each month, obviously. And the calendars come out. We sell them in other merchandise with Pinup for Vets. That's, I mean, the last thing that I largely did. This will be the 16th year. It's very 1940 style. So World War II, all tattoos and piercings get removed. It's very classy. They visited over 15,000 veteran VA hospitals. Let's see. So that's the biggest thing that I've done, because that's going to globally give back. And then I'm still just ultimately, I've taken on the position of the social media director or social media communications director for South Mountain Vets, US. They are also a 501c3 nonprofit. They are veteran founded and owned, also Marine Corps. And I believe Michael may be watching. Congratulations. They just had a baby a couple of days ago. So what they do, their platform is homelessness in the DFW area, and they do all kinds of different events to help provide shelter, food, clothing, training, and are definitely boots on the ground. Let's see. So we do have, so I am currently with US Vet Fund, and I am the co-chair for Woody Salute, which is a huge fundraiser to donate to both US Vet Fund that raises money for other nonprofits or veterans families like Gold Star, White Star families. Then also the money will also go to the Woody Williams Foundation, which is huge. He is the last living Medal of Honor recipient from World War II. And it'll also be his birthday. So it's a huge event that I'm a co-chair on right now. And so there's two other things that are major this year that I've really gotten involved with and stayed on top of. And one of them is pretty new. And it's one of like the most amazing, it's Rochelle. She started the Enduring campaign. And what she does is veteran transitional center donations. So people go on the Amazon wish list or anything. She has lists of the different transitional centers across the nation. And whatever those transitional centers need for the homeless, she gathers them and ships those packages out. And so I have been like my Amazon Smile personally, every time I shop on Amazon, which is a lot, then percentages go to the Enduring campaign. I'm big on just pushing her and supporting her. She is a female veteran as well. And so that is something I don't know of any other organization like that. And then I have Holidays and Heroes, and then I'll cover the biggest one, which is the foundation that like not only changed my life, but saved my life. So the other one that I just became an ambassador of is called Holidays and Heroes. I don't know, like if that's going to end up showing backwards. But what they turn around and do is, like you'll sponsor a military family. So I live next to the Naval Air Station Joint Reserve Base, which is all branches. Their mission is to pretty much show their families that they're not alone. And so like last year in COVID, you know, a lot of them the spouses lost a job. There was a lot of pay cuts. And so what they ultimately do is provide Christmas for, I believe it's E5 and below. It's accomplished through sponsorship for the military families, local citizens who provide gifts to the families, unique Christmas experience. And not all of us have served in the military, but they found a way to serve. And then lastly is Air Power Foundation. Of course, they are the largest one in the nation. It's grown in its formation since 1999. It's a nationwide program, obviously, supporting active duty reserves and National Guard families. And COVID hindered their largest fundraisers, which brings in a few $1 million. because what they do is any of the nonprofits will put in for grants. So say if it's for service dogs, or it might be suicide prevention, or it might be whatever the platform is, as long as you're a legitimate 501c3 and it fits the grants requirements, then you fill out the grant and they ultimately provide. And I'm not talking about like 500, 1,000. I'm talking about big checks, 10, 15, 20, $25,000 to those nonprofits. And specifically one that I'll be working with is Service Dog Interactions. So my service dog that I've had since he was a puppy, and we were trained by Next Up Service Dogs, and that's how I got linked up with Air Power Foundation. Is we were finished our training as a handler and a service dog in 2013, and he was diagnosed with mast cell tumor cancer in March. So May. There was one tumor removed, and then we found out what it was, and I think it was about May that we got the final actual diagnosis. And so Service Dog Interactions has been raising money to help me pay for chemo and hopefully keep him with me a little longer. Again, that's something, for example, if they put in a grant for Air Power Foundation, they would, fund them. So Skyball 19, and I know this doesn't sound super blonde, but I didn't know what Roman numeral XIX was, so I had to Google it. So it is 19. This is the 19th Skyball. And this is their largest fundraiser. It's a huge ball. They have linked up with the new Globe Life Park. So if you were here recently and you didn't get to see it, the new baseball stadium is amazing. And so they've linked up with, this is probably going to be the best one that they've had in a long time, but it's a few days of fun and entertainment. They have military night. They bring in bands. Robert Irvin comes in and provides amazing food. A lot of service members like myself get sponsored to go. And what happens ultimately is people buy, or big companies buy the table as a whole, like $10,000, and then what seats are left over, those get given out to service members. But it's a huge fundraiser. So I've continued to be an ambassador for them because my mental health treatment came from a place that got grants from Air Power Foundation, and I wouldn't be here today without them. So deep breath. I think that's the major things that I'm in the middle of right now.
Just a couple things.
just a little bit.
It's absolutely, our veterans and first responders are superheroes. They can't just take on one project. They've got to take on as many as they can. And it's intriguing, it's endearing, it's empowering. I do say that, to serve is therapeutic, and I'm confident that you're finding some of that therapy, not that you need it or do need it or want it to, but there's this whole there's a reason why I do what I selfishly do what I do, because it makes me feel good. Absolutely. And we've had to combat that a couple times where, you're only doing this for, it's not just for myself, because one of the most endearing things I've ever heard, and I'm so unworthy of hearing it, is you saved my life. I don't feel a value in that. I mean, I know we're putting the pieces in place. I know that we're creating the relationships. I know we've got the organizations with boots on the ground. I know that we're proactive. That is such a huge thing to take into my head and say, you know what? I'm just here. And if there's a value in that and you found the value in that, I greatly appreciate it. And thank you for what you're doing. I love that you don't specialize. That's one of our marketing and branding things that we've been asked to do. I don't know how many times we've been asked to do that. And every time we talk to a marketing person, you need to specialize. And I'm like, if we specialize, in my head, then we're missing something. That means we got blinders on, we're only looking here, and we've got all this stuff out here too. And so I appreciate seeing another veteran out there that is literally dragging their knuckles, because I know you are. And it's so invigorating. I appreciate that. Thank you for all you're doing.
Thank you for your support. It is can be exhausting. I've learned to do a lot from home though, and that's been a big thing because I do work full time as well, and then I'm also 100% permanent and totally disabled, and so I do have some pretty chronic conditions. They're treatable, but they're not curable. If that I'm learning how this like medical lingo goes.
Sure.
But no, I mean, last year during COVID, I did one of the only suicide prevention. Originally, my platform was suicide because of my personal suicide ideations and wanting to take my own life. And when I chose life not just for myself, but my children, my husband, but ultimately because I have a niche in resources, both in my job and in veterans. And so since that's however, whatever gift that is, I mean, Taya, Kyle, and I are really good friends, and she just told me that's a divine intervention on why I'm here and what I do. So I like you said, selfishly, if you want to look at it, some people look at it that way. It fulfills a purpose for me. It gives me a reason to wake up every day outside of my, my children. And I will never forget. And that was one of the action photos I sent to y'all is you see me sitting on a chair because I knew I'd probably pass out talking to the Marines. It was just specifically my MOS that I did the suicide prevention for. I know it's like in the middle of COVID. Anyways, after I told my story and I've become more and more open about like just telling the whole thing and not holding back, then one of the Marines who's older, stood up and with tears in his eyes said, we sponsored him to come down, by the way. He ended up winning the room. We sponsored his flight, or I didn't, but somebody from through Air Power Foundation did. And he stood up and he said that every single night he had been drinking himself to the bottom of a bottle and putting a gun in his mouth, contemplating suicide. And because we got him there, it gave him a purpose. It told him that he feels like he's important and he now knows that he exists and other people care for him. And there wasn't a dry eye in that room. And Marines don't cry, but they couldn't hold that back. To think that if it just changes one life on any platform, that's why I can't just specify on one, because that's all it takes. As long as I know that it's making a difference in one life, then that's one life we've changed in some way, shape, or form. Veterans usually need more than suicide prevention, mental health, things for Christmas, transitional housing. There's a lot of different veterans out there that need that stuff, and we need multiple things. And I mean, I wouldn't be here without those resources. And so when I got my master's in social work, it's a niche and I'm going to run with it because I feel like that's what my purpose on earth turned out to be.
It's so fulfilling. I know where you're at. I know what it is. There's been an occasion where smoke inhalation overcomes me every once in a while. Been being involved with this, Army people don't cry either. But a little CS gas gets to us every once in a while, and it's not a practiced feature, but my goodness, when you're doing amazing and great things, and when we call it lighten the load, and that's a reason why we don't specialize, because if we can take one little tiny piece, whether we do a Christmas family experience every year, and in and of itself, it's not a huge thing, but I know that it lightens the load for that family. And so they don't have to focus on, for an example, this year, we had a veteran who had lost his leg. We don't have to focus. It won't be the year Dad lost, or the Christmas Dad lost his leg. It was the year they had an amazing Christmas and Dad just happened to lose his leg during this year. And so, no, it's so awesome. And the experience is so amazing. And there are so many people in this pool of opportunity that are reaching out and helping. And I just love the opportunity of bringing you on here. Introduce us, only because I don't want to mess up the name. Introduce us to your friend here with us.
And so it's a little small for me. If I'm looking at it correctly, is it Carrie?
That's me. I had no idea I was going to be on camera.
It's okay. The only reason I am dressed like this is because I came straight from the Fort Worth convention passing out vodka today. So Carrie is the founder of Holidays and Heroes. So I actually would like to give her the opportunity, if that's okay, to talk a little more about Holidays and Heroes, but she just brought me on as ambassador. just cannot tell you how blessed and honored I am to be an ambassador for Holidays and Heroes and to have crossed Carrie's path. And I can't thank her enough for all the support that she's given me in my crazy endeavors in supporting veterans. So yes, I'll hand it over her to tell y'all more about Holidays and Heroes.
Well, thank you. Back in 2015, we decided that we wanted to have an open house Christmas party, but we wanted it to be a party with a purpose. And we decided that we would reach out to our neighborhood community to see if they would support something at Christmas that would be supportive of local military families that are stationed here at the Naval Air Station Joint Reserve Base. I live about a mile from the base. You know, those military families are our neighbors, really. We see them in the grocery stores, at the gas stations, all around us. And it just seemed like a natural fit. We've got a lot of patriots live in our neighborhood, and especially living so close to the base. So I reached out to the base to see if they would approve of us doing a program like this, and then reached out to the neighbors. And the very first year, we would get a wish list back from families that were recommended by their commanding officers from the different branches. We support Navy, Marines, Air Force, who am I leaving out? Air National Guard. We don't have such a presence with the Army because there's not a lot of Army over at the base. We've worked on getting in with them. But anyway, so that first year we got wish lists for 39 different families, and we were able to fulfill all 39 wish lists. And it's just grown from there. We went from 39 families to 43 to 53 to 60 to 75 in 2019. And last year during COVID, there was a huge need for it. And we were able to fulfill wish lists for 108 military families. Now, when you're talking about a wish list, they get a list that they can fill out: clothing needs, toy needs, household needs, just Santa wishes. And usually people that will sponsor a family, they take that list and they don't buy one or two things off that list. They buy everything on the list in many cases. We also get donations, and we've always tried to make it our mission to make sure that the money that is donated, that is designated for a family, goes back specifically to the families. Well, last year we had enough money in donations, even after the Christmas gift giving event, that we were able to go back and give. And we did this in February. We did it like a Valentine giving event, but it was still an extension of the Christmas. We were able to give $300 gift cards to all 108 military families. That was huge.
That is amazing. That is amazing.
We don't know what to expect this year. Last year with COVID, we weren't able to give them a big party like we've done in the past. It's usually a big blowout party. They give us one of the hangars at the base. And 2 years ago, we had this party with about 150 volunteers and 75 families. So you're thinking, you add in the volunteers and the families, and then we also had a big contingent of Star Wars characters that wanted to show up, and they came in, they made a spectacular entrance and showing. But we had Chewbacca, we had Darth Vader, we had Luke Skywalker, we had all of them. It was a lot of fun, and our goal is to get back to that this year. But last year, because of COVID, we had to do it as a drive-by event only. So we got a hangar out there on the flight line, but we were only able to just stage the gifts per family, and the families would drive by, we'd get their name, we'd run back and load up their car with gifts, and they just drive away. But
do what you got to do, right?
Yeah, well, and we did, and it was amazing that we were able to pull it off the way we did, but it all worked out. And so awesome. We're about to get knee deep in planning for this year.
That's awesome. That is awesome. That's awesome. Well, we still have more questions for you, and we still have a bunch of people in the foxhole. So stay tuned. I did have a special request this week. I'm a little upset with them, and that's okay. We'll get by it. They said, when was the last time we played Topher Patriot? And I said, we just did it on the 4th of July.
Wait, hold on.
Look at that.
Nice.
Little Topher.
And it's autographed in crayon. I'm going the wrong way. And
with that said, here's Topher and the Marine, the Patriot Marine. I'm sorry.
The Marine rapper.
The Marine rapper. Gosh
yeah.
dang it. Thank you.
It's okay.
He's multitasking.
Someday I would buy dollies with good oceans, sails to distant shores. Stand up high in the prow, noble bark I see, steady course for the havens. Too many foemen, too many foemen.
Tens of thousands on my right, thousands by my side. War between good and evil, watching our fists collide. Battle for our freedom now, to the streets we ride. Flags waving all around, pages full of pride. This is where we make a stand, no more give or take. March around the Capitol, storm the city gates. Putting pressure on their necks until the truth breaks. All walls of corruption, take out all the snakes. Star Spangled Banner, got it playing loud and proud. People from all walks of life filling up the crowd. Defend the Constitution, many warriors survive. Casting down any among us who have bucked and cowed. Enough with tyranny, we come to take our country back. For all citizens, white, red, brown, or black. Return her to a form of glory, fix their bloody crack on the crown. Fetch it down, it's going down.
Someday I would buy dollies with good oceans, sails to distant shores. Stand up high in the prow, noble bark I steam, steady course for the havens. Too many foemen.
My mama told me, yeah, she warned me that this day would come. I'm like my father, go to combat with the blazing guns. I survived that, then I came back to the place I'm from, to face off all these haters and the battle in the place I love. You can't break me down, I'm indivisible. You still see my raps if I was invisible, but I'm standing tall and I spit the truth, so you all appalled, cause you know it's true. They call it freedom cause the fallen troops pay for this. I love this country, doesn't matter how much hate I get. I take my colors in the battle, ain't no wavering, cause this is for my warriors who marching to the cadences. This is for the sisters working hard on the ship. This is for the brothers getting y'all doctorate. Father, yeah, taking y'all on the ship. Baby, tell me why it's all for the Patriot.
My mother told me someday I would buy dollies with good oceans, sails to distant shores. Stand up high in the prow, noble bark I steam, steady course for the havens. Too many foemen, too many foemen, too many foemen.
Tens of thousands on my right, thousands by my side. War between good and evil, watching our fists collide. Battle for our freedom now, to the streets we ride. Flags waving all around, pages full of pride. This is where we make a stand, no more give or take. March around the Capitol, storm the city gates. Putting pressure on their necks until the truth breaks. All walls of corruption, take out all the snakes. Star Spangled Banner, got it playing loud and proud. People from all walks of life filling up the crowd. Defend the Constitution, many warriors survive.
What a great anthem for this great country, and the story behind what they did and how they're going and where they're going and what they're doing is just absolutely amazing. And do you know where you can hear Topher and the Marine Rapper?
I know.
Where can you hear them?
I can hear it on WeP3 Radio.
On WeP3 Radio. If you haven't had the chance to tune in, make sure you get it's all out there, and you'll get the link up here in a quick second. We went live on July 4th, and it is 100% all the time veteran and first responder music from across the country. And I'm telling you what, I will put these musicians up against anyone in the country, and they are just as good, if not better. I do absolutely terrible listing off all the names because we have so many. I think there's like 67 artists right now in our catalog, and I don't take ownership of that catalog. These are the amazing men and women who have fought for this country, who found some comfort in creating and making music, and they get to celebrate that through their craft, and we get to celebrate that through WeP3 Radio. So if you get the chance, look at that. You got all of them in one spot.
Yeah, it was actually donated. So there's Topher, Decure, and the Ream Wrapper, and then I believe this is like their producer person. But
Sure.
so I have this. It's sealed on the back. So I'm hoping to use it to. It was donated. I bought one myself, but it's smaller. It was donated to raise money. So I'm hoping to do that with a couple other things that I got. But yeah, this is their Space Force.
So every once in a while we get a guest on the show that it comes up Facebook user. That ends up being in your setting. We would love it if you'd identify yourself. We'll share all your comments. We just love the fact that everyone's here. Our crowd is growing every single week. And there is no one doing what we're doing. Karalyn made that comment earlier on what people are doing out there. There's a lot of podcasts out there, and we love them. Ryan Schultz, boom, boom. We have a lot of podcasts out there, and they're amazing podcasts, and we have relationships with a lot of them. We are just bringing boots on the ground, and again, I'm not hammering. They do it too. We're bringing our musicians on with them. And we've got some amazing people working in the background. We got some tours that are being planned right now with just veterans and first responders. And we're just going to go take care of those people that have committed to making America a better place. It's just been awesome. Awesome. Well, Karalyn, thank you for bringing Carrie on. That's awesome. It's awesome to hear her mission and what she's working on. It does parallel something we're working on. I know if you guys can hang for a little bit, we do a post show that closes off to the public. It's just us. It's just an opportunity for collaboration and figuring out how we can all work together. Because if we're working together, I think we lighten the load for ourselves as well. And so I'm totally excited about that. We see Brian Gibson on here. We'll bring him on here in a minute, but he has a mission really close to our flagship mission of providing a resource for veterans to come and stay and recalibrate. And that's really what our mission is. But now we get to do all this amazing side stuff that we didn't really know that we were going to have the opportunity to do. Meet amazing people. A year ago, I sat down with Shad. Actually, it's been about a year and a half now, but I sat down with Shad and I said, hey, can we do this together and work together? And he said, yes, let's do it. And I didn't have a vision of doing a podcast. And it ended up being a virtual happy hour for veterans and first responders during the COVID season. And it just blew up. And we're happy and we're excited. And now we have a radio station, and we've been asked to do some TV shows and all that. And it's just like, you know what? We don't get to do any of this without all you that are out there listening. Karalyn doesn't get to do what she's doing unless she's supported. Carrie doesn't get to do what she's doing unless she's supported. Shad, myself, Andrea, and Brian, none of us get to do anything unless we have the amazing listener and viewership of our country that says, you know what? We have the resources. We have the opportunity. Some of it is boots on the ground volunteerism. Some of it is 22 cents a month. Some of it is a little bit more than that. But I'm just so excited to bring all these people on and hear the mission. Karalyn, what is I know you've already kind of shared a little bit, but the next big mission or the next big phase, but why don't you lay it down for us? Where do we need to be supporting you at this moment right now?
So I believe that the Woody Salute is taken off, and that's got big sponsorship. Air Power Foundation has their stuff together. So honestly, what I would be looking at next is I'm really trying to help South Mountain vets, and we're about to. It's called Kit Up. We're gonna try to change that, where we're about to load up with asking for blankets, those type of donations for the homeless over the winter, and then like Carrie said, holidays and heroes. So whatever she needs is what I will be on board with. Those will be the last two major things as far as contribution goes that my focus is on, is holidays and heroes and South Mountain Vets US.
Awesome. Tell me, can you share a little bit about the Kids Up mission? Is that?
Oh, Kit Up. It's called Kit Up. Sorry.
Kid Up. Sorry.
Yeah.
I
So
may have misheard you.
So what happens with Kit Up is that sleeping bags, blankets, beanies, gloves, socks. There are some of our homeless here. I mean, our previous mayor and just our politicians in general are really good at taking care of our veterans in this area, and have really done their best to eradicate the homeless numbers, veteran or civilian. However, there are just some of them that just aren't going to come off the streets. They don't want to. So what South Mountain Vet US does is that Kit Up, we start gathering those items to prepare for winter so that we can put them together and hand them out. Coats, just any type of warm weather stuff that's going to keep them safe and warm through the winter as they continue to stay on the streets for whatever reason. So that's what Kit Up is.
Okay. Awesome. Do you guys have Project or Operation Warm down there at all? Do you know? Are you familiar with that?
Not to my knowledge. I've never heard of that.
Okay. We'll talk. We'll keep talking about that. I mean,
okay.
Why recreate the thing if it kind of already exists, and if we can work together and make sure that I know it's up here in Minneapolis, so I just dropping some stuff out there.
Okay.
If those that are out there listening are familiar with, and again, the catalog is pretty big, but if there's a song you want to hear tonight, I'm not going to guarantee we have it queued, ready to go. But because we don't have a music guest, we're willing to drop one in there. I have an idea of something that I want to do, but again, if someone wants to drop a name or drop a song and know our platform, we'll put that up there if we have it. If not, real quick, Brian Gibson, you got something coming up here real quick.
Oh, yes. God, the two ladies, keep up the great work. Okay, just keep it up. We have our weekend of remembrance. The stage is about 60% complete. Threw my back out yesterday, but we'll live with it. But yes, I am there you go. Our weekend of remembrance. So you want music? Play anything from Chris Turner. Hype him up because he's coming to play for us. But yeah, 2 weeks to go, and I got to drive to St. Louis tomorrow for a meeting and pick up some stuff for our silent auction. So if you really want to put something, donate that thing, hey, I'll talk to you offline for our mailing address for our silent auction. But it's just busy. That's what it is. But, we can't stop. The past 2 days in my travels, getting gas. You've seen pictures of my truck, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I've had two families that lost their veterans this past year approach. And it just broke my heart. It did. One was from 40 miles from Bob Rush. Never knew him, but 40 miles away, man. That just breaks my heart.
Sorry to hear that, bud.
I know. But the good news is the families are doing good. They're coping. I put them in touch with our family group. So they're talking now amongst each other. Our Facebook, we have a family group for families that have lost their veterans to suicide. It's a peer support group. Mrs. Rush leads it up. She lost her veteran in 2012. And this is where Forward Operating Base Rush got its name. She was an Air Force veteran.
we greatly appreciate that mission you have going down there in McCandy, Illinois, and down in Kentucky. Thank you for all that you're doing, Brian. We will be down there at Fob Rush actually in 2 weekends. So we'll be there for, I think, the last day of cleanup and then for the celebration part. And then we're heading off to Kansas City to be part of another thing. So we did get to, and I'm going to apologize to Karalyn a little bit up front because some of the pre-show stuff she shared with us, but it is one of our veteran musicians, and we have Chris Turner, If You Drink.
He was driving somewhere between Gallup and Winslow on an old stretch of Route 66. At the end of his rope, looking for hope, but he found this old bar here instead. The neon was dusty, the door hinges rusty, on the window a handwritten sign. Between the Paps and the Coors and the two swinging doors, faded words, but he read them just fine. If you cheat, hope it's death that you're cheating. If you lie with someone you love. If you fight, do it for the right reasons. If you drink, then come drink one with us. The whole place was packed. The waitress waved him on back, set him up on the last stool. She said, man, I can tell you've been going through hell. Well, we've all come out of there too. And we live by our own golden rule. If you cheat, hope it's death that you're cheating. If you lie with someone you love. If you fight, do it for the right reasons. If you drink, then come drink one with us. All we can do is the best that we can. 'Cause we're all sinners, forgivers, and friends. If you cheat, hope it's death that you're cheating. If you lie with someone you love. If you fight, do it for the right reasons. If you drink, then come drink one with us. If you drink, then come drink one with us. Drink one with us.
The guy is a dude, and we're excited to see him down there in Illinois. We're excited for the shout-outs he gives for the People's Patriot Project. And so we just, if you get a chance, go see Chris Turner. Download his music. You can hear him on WeP3 Radio, but, we do have 100% royalty station that pays our artists, but they do get a little bit more change if you're downloading their music at the same time. So if you get a chance, Download our brother's music. He's got it. He's good, and you won't be disappointed at all. Andrea, normally we got the news clear up on the front end of our show. You want to drop us some of our news now?
Well, yeah, I would. Mark, thanks for that. I just I started last weekend kind of recognizing our first responders. We always have a really good crowd of veterans, and we're trying to reach out to those first responders as well. And we've had quite a handful of those who cross over from the veteran world into the first responder world as well. And thank you for joining us and coming around. So just as a reminder, our first responders and our veterans, they willingly serve, they make sacrifices, and they represent us around the world. Yeah, I'm sorry, I haven't watched the news in a couple weeks, and I caught a blurb. And yeah, thank you. Our hopes with the People's Patriot Project, we are here to save lives and create opportunities to make our heroes whole again while making them a proactive part of their homes and of society. So I just have a couple numbers. There's over 25,300,000 first responders in the U.S. at this moment. And I was reading about, there's a group out there that put together a first responder anthem. And I listened to it. It's good. It includes and touches on a lot of the things that we like to teach, that we are learning about, that we want to share, that we want to help and support. And so this anthem is instilling emotion and a true sentiment for our first responders who demonstrate daily bravery by providing safety for us all. The founders of this organization, Matt Jackson, Ron Polito, and Stanton Smith, say they are honored to work with communities across the nation to share the importance of creating a culture of thank yous for America's heroes. And so I just jumped on their song. I'm going to try this. Peterson, send me a text right away because I only have the one screen. If it's not working, send me a text right away, but I'll try to share this by sharing the screen.
God save the one. God save them all. God save the life through the first to respond. Strengthen their hands, steady their feet. Make straight the path when the road becomes hard. To all who've gone before us and all who are to come, we lift our voice in chorus to honor everyone. The life given in service, the victories to come. Thank you, first responder. Thank you, first responder. We love you.
sorry, there are many versions of that song on YouTube, different versions, but there's also a couple that bring the photographs in first responders just doing their work. So check that out. You guys, we are just here always trying to create the awareness needed of the vast needs of our veterans and our first responders. We talk about what they're dealing with, and that is an everyday thing. Whether they're on the job, overseas, here, retired, it doesn't matter. They deal with that stuff every day. It doesn't go away. We at the People's Patriot Project, we are here creating a network of organizations so that we can be proactive, boots on the ground force with the mission of supporting all those who have served and worn the uniform. And we're here to create the resources and the networks that will accommodate the unique financial needs, physical needs, and emotional support needs in this complex network. So thanks.
Thanks for sharing. Shad, you got any news you got to drop on us, brother?
There we go. Now I think y'all can hear me. Oh, geez. Nothing like, oh my God, Major. Just, hey, if you're in the Houston area and you need an exterior cleaning done, check out the Navy Man Can. That's a little pressure washing business I started up. And last week was, oh my God, horribly slow. This coming week is considerably better, but, I won't be happy until I'm booked like 3 weeks out at least. But anyways, that's really all I got. I'm just plugging away. Found out today that
endorsement.
I got a few things I got to do to the vehicle because it decided the radiator wants to not hold water anymore.
Just stuff, brother. Just stuff.
I'm telling you, but you know what?
You got it, man.
I can fix it, so it'll happen.
Awesome. Thank you, Karalyn, for being on. Thank you, Carrie, for being on. Thank you for all that are here to listen. Remember, the People's Patriot Project is the opportunity to serve. It is the beacon of hope. It is the beacon of opportunity. And we are here with you. Remember, service continues. The mission continues. And we get the awesome opportunity of listening to Dom Kurz on WP3 Radio. See you next week.
Come with me, won't you stay a while? I'll sing a song for you to smile. I can't stand to see you ache, 'cause I can make you shake. I can tell that you've been crying all alone with a bottle of wine. He's gonna miss you. He's gonna miss you when you're gone. Come on, baby, don't you hesitate. Drink it up and honey, don't you wait. I can't stand.
I'm here. Those guys left, though. Oh, well.